Good morning and welcome to another exciting episode of Tea or Coffee on High Impact Television. We are the full first HD TV station in Nigeria. My name is Mudukwe Jacobs and I have in the studio with me Good morning.
Good morning, darling.
Yes. So today we are going to be talking about stockbroking. Now, do you know what stockbroking is?
Yeah, in my own opinion, stockbroking is all about shares and investments. And, you know, most people tend to not understand what stockbroking is all about. And it plays a vital role in the economy of each country, knowing the growth rate and everything that has to do with stockbroking. And now we can't talk about stockbroking without mentioning stockbrokers.
Exactly.
Because they play a vital role in the industry. And vital role in the sense that, you know, a lot of people think that stockbrokers are just limited to facilitating selling and buying of stocks. And it really goes beyond that. It's not just about selling and buying of stocks. They also have to have an idea of what the stock market is inside out. And they also need to analyze the economy. They need to analyze financial markets so that they can give informed decisions about investment to their clients, and that would, you know, help the clients understand what they are getting into, help them understand the profits they are liable to.
And also knowing that stockbroking is about investment, you know, and most people tend to have some sort of misconceptions about what stockbroking actually is. You know, some liken it to the cryptocurrency, having the Ponzi schemes, Bitcoin, and some actually think it's a form of gambling. And you know, all these things need to be corrected. And most people are not even aware of what stockbroking is all about, how it can help their finances, how they can make wise, you know, and reasonable investments.
And that is why they actually end up putting in their money or their investment in the wrong places. And then because of, I think over time, you have putting your money in the wrong investment or wrong places. And then that now makes you have the mentality, probably it didn't come out well, the result didn't come out well. So it makes you have this idea mentality that everything plus stockbroking, everything is just, you know, scam or... Meanwhile, it was because of the experience you had, not having an idea or knowledge of what you are doing or what you're investing in.
Yes, and I must say that it's important that people out there know that we actually do need stockbrokers, not just as, you know, a whole, as in terms of having a company, but even as an individual to make wise investment decisions. You need, you know, the inputs of a stockbroker, you know, to educate you, to let you know where to put your money, how to invest your money, and make wise decisions. So we won't be doing all the talking. We have a very amazing guest that we'll be bringing on the show. But of course, we have to go on a short break. So please do stay glued because this is going to be very educative and you do not want to miss any part of the show. So please do stay glued because we will be right back.
Have a thrilling and bonding experience at High Impact Planet Amusement Park and Resort. Enjoy an amazing retreat in our extremely secured environment with our breathtaking rides. Set goals for the upcoming year in our convenient multi-purpose halls. Bond between team members while giving your staff a desirable treat. High Impact Planet. Fun just got real.
Welcome back from that break. This is still Tea or Coffee on High Impact Television. Now, just before the break, we talked about stockbroking. You know, and we tried explaining that when we talk about stockbroking, what comes to mind is shares
and
investments. But I'm sure there's more to you know, stockbroking, and there's more to what a stockbroker actually does. So, to do justice to the topic for today is Mr. Babatunde Shobamowo. He is a chartered accountant by profession. He is an erudite banker with years of experience. He is a dealing member of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. He is a managing director of Global Asset Management Nigeria Limited. You're welcome, sir.
You're welcome. Good morning, sir.
Thank you so much.
Good morning, sir.
I'm highly elated to be here. And,
Same here. We're
It's
glad
a
to
pleasure
have you.
here.
yeah,
Too.
so I don't know how you were able to scoop all this. Just,
Information.
just an ordinary trader on the floor of Nigerian Stock Exchange. Then that's what I do for a living now. But again, with what you said, you need a bit of accounting also to be able to advise clients on what and what to buy. And also with my stint in banking, I was there for 10 years.
Wow, 10 years.
Yes, 10 years. And that also, I've spent all my life, virtually all my life in the financial sector. Yeah, so I think I'm well poised. To be able to speak on anything, in the financial sector in Nigeria of today.
Okay.
And that is why you're just the person that would be able to analyze our topic for today.
About stockbroking.
No problem.
Now, in as much as we try to talk about stockbroking, we mentioned that once we hear stockbroking, we think of shares, we think of investment.
Yeah.
So I would like to ask you, as the professional, what is stockbroking all about?
Well, stockbroking is a profession, as you rightly said, but it's a gamut of so many things. It involves quite a number of things like financial advisory, portfolio management, trying to raise funds for companies, to list them on the stock exchange, and to prepare them for raising capital in general. So it's not limited to trading in shares and stocks. It's quite involving. You do quite a bit of work to be able to get a company listed. Because if you don't prepare, like we're here this morning, this studio is well set up. You need to prepare so that if anybody wants to buy a particular stock for a particular company, you put it in a way and manner that it will be attractive. And also the packaging also will be done, by us, by stockbrokers in conjunction with other advisors. We have other advisors also, like issuing houses, lawyers, accountants, and so on. So it's a real package, that's why you have advisors to any issue that might come onto the market. So it takes quite a bit. All you see is just the end product, that high impact has, brought to the market 10 billion ordinary shares of at 50 kobo, or 1 naira, to be invested by, various people by the public. So it's quite involving. I must say that.
Okay. Yeah. In your definition, you mentioned portfolio management.
Yeah.
I would like to know more about that.
Yeah, portfolio management is basically the ability of a broker to be able to advise its clients on what and what to invest, the capital on. Say, for example, you have, say, 100 million. You could decide to do, say, put 25, say, a quarter of it in treasury bills, so that those are, they have fixed returns and is backed by the sovereignty by the federal government. Yeah. So you could decide to say, okay, put 25% in stocks. Stocks are high risk investments. I must admit. You could put some in savings. You could put some in other liquid assets. So, but essentially, my advice to my clients is that you get near liquid assets. For people who are risk averse, they would rather buy properties.
Okay. When you mean near liquid assets, what is that about?
Yes, that they can turn into cash.
Okay.
At the slightest opportunity. If you're broke, if you take you can discount your treasury bills, for example. You could sell your shares, even if you sell it at a loss. You could also sell before maturity. If you sell your treasury bills before maturity, they are going to discount it. If you bought it at, say, 100, and you're taking your discount upfront, and you now need cash, you want to sell it, of course, you are going to lose some money. So unless you wait until maturity. So, but my advice is that you must always invest in near liquid assets.
Okay.
You know, if you want to sell this, I'm assuming you want to sell this place now. It's going to take for, you know, this valuer will come, this one will come, and so on and so forth. You know, but again, it's also good for portfolio diversification. You have some in solid assets like this thing, because they appreciate far more than than one can imagine. You know, you can imagine what properties are selling at Victoria Island, you know, today compared to you know, where we are.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, of course, you can imagine, assuming this kind of property is located in Victoria Island, what is the command? But again, over time, developments might catch up, and the prices of of course, if the person wants to sell this particular property now today, of course, for what it was bought years back, it was appreciated far more than what you will get, assuming you invested your money in other stocks or you invested it in treasury bills. But ideally, you must always invest in near liquid assets.
Okay.
Yeah.
From your definition of what stockbroking is all about, you indirectly have mentioned what a stockbroker does. But I'm sure there is more to it aside, you know, just staying in an office and, you know, trying to monitor the stock exchange, knowing when to invest, when it's low, and when to sell. So what are the other duties of a stockbroker?
Well, like I said, a stockbroker basically we deal in shares and stocks.
Okay.
You know, trade on behalf of investors. We take stocks to the markets. What I mean by that is that we are the licensed brokers that will introduce anybody that wants to get listed, any company that wants to get listed on the stock market. It's only the brokers that would introduce the company to the market to get it listed. You know, make sure that all the undertakings and all these things are abided with, and then subsequently the shares will be traded also. And like I said, it's a party. You know, we are just one of the parties, but our own role basically is to market the shares of the company. You know, we are in the frontal role of making sure that we are able to, you know, penetrate all the nooks and crannies of, you know, to be able to get investors for the shares, while all the other parties put all these things together. Their primary role is to market, and we are paid for that, for doing that.
Okay, so your primary role as a stockbroker is to market the stocks out there.
Yes, for those companies.
All right.
And get them listed on the
stock market.
Yes, it's when they are listed, that's when you and I are able to trade on those shares. No other person, you know, by statute can get the shares listed on behalf of the companies except stockbrokers.
Okay. All right. You know, when talking about stockbrokers, you always say we are. So as a stockbroker, what are the criteria, you know, you look out for? Imagine if I want to be a stockbroker, what are the criteria you look out for in that person?
Well, it's gender free. You know, we are all city gentlemen. That's what we refer. You know, you have a few ladies also. So you've seen them on the trading floor.
Yes.
Basically, what we've done, you know, we have an institute, Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers.
Okay.
You know, it was established in 1992 by Act of Parliament.
Okay.
And it's been there. It's been growing from leaps and bounds. And they are specifically, their duty is to train, examine, and manage everything that has to do with stockbroking activities. You know, making sure that people are registered and so on and so forth. Okay. There are various levels of examinations. We have the diploma programs for school cert holders and undergraduates. You know, then we have the graduate programs for graduates. You know, they have 2 levels of examination and so on and so forth. So when they qualify, they have 1 year, you know, just for them to get a bit of trading. Then after doing that, they will be given the associateship of the institute. Then thereafter, they will now, because they cannot do that, they need to get a platform. We have 3 platforms for now.
Okay.
We have the Nigerian Stock Exchange, we have the FMDQ, and we have NASD.
Okay, what do you mean by FMDQ?
Yes, FMDQ is the platform for fixed income securities like bonds, federal government bonds, and so on. You know, other for corporates and for federal government. You know, and of course they've been dealing in currencies also lately on behalf of the federal government. You know, so you could elect to be a broker on that platform. You could elect to be a broker on the Nigerian Stock Exchange platform, which I am, and you could elect to be a trader on NESD. NESD is for unlisted securities. I will tell you a bit about unlisted securities. Okay. I've told you about for FMDQ.
FMDQ, yes.
NSC is for listed quoted securities. You know, they are the ones that you either through introduction or through initial public offerings and so on and so forth, they are brought to the market. People buy shares. You and I buy shares, you know, and so on and so forth. You know, and then they are now listed, and people now start trading, you know, on them. You know, so but after your initial training as a stockbroker with under Charter Institute of Stockbroker examination, you have to be licensed also.
Yes.
You have to be licensed. It's very key by registering with Securities and Exchange Commission. You know, as a broker or as a broker dealer, you know, and simultaneously also you will have to get your certification to be able to trade ATS, automated trading system. That's what they use.
So you can't just wake up one and say, I want to be a stockbroker. You have to go through this process.
Oh yes, it's a you know, because all over the world, stockbrokers are, you know, they are special people. You know, I must say that it's not something that you can just walk in. As at the last count, I'm not sure we're up to 2,000 in the whole of Nigeria.
In the whole of Nigeria.
Oh yes, you know, past and present. You know, for I'm a fellow, for example. You know,
why is that? Why can it just be 2,000 people? In the whole of
that is
Nigeria?
why your program is very, very important.
Okay.
You know, we need to do a lot of education, a lot of enlightenment, you know, so that people, we need to encourage a lot of people also to participate. I do that for my staff. Okay. I said, I'm an accountant, I'm a stockbroker, I'm a banker, I deal in insolvency, so many things. So, I mean, I don't want to be, that's what Nigeria is going through now. You know, we don't want to be like oil. We want to go into other areas. So you are better off having streams of income, so that even if one is not going on well, you can latch on into the other one. So I encourage them to register with the institute, you know, to be able to, you know, you don't lose anything. You know, knowledge is power. You don't lose anything at all. So the more knowledgeable you are, the more you are able to interact with people, the more you are able to see things beyond the ordinary.
Okay.
You know.
Okay, imagine if I went to school to probably study economics or other courses, and then I come out and have an interest in stockbroking. Can I still attend the institute? Oh, yes. Oh, it's free. Okay. You know, you go onto their website. You know, you as a student, you just pay this. You don't have to work anywhere. It's available to any financial institution. You know, even as an undergraduate, like I said, you could apply. There are programs for undergraduates. They have programs for school start holders who have minimum credits in 5 credits, English and maths. Yes. So they train them. It's just like the accounting professionals. So they have ATS, you know, for technicians, so that they could prepare them for the bigger this thing. Okay. So it's quite it's a nice, quite encouraging to encourage people. So the whole essence of the senior ones in this thing is to encourage as many people as possible, you know, to be part of this, because it's a noble profession. Yes, all over the world. So as an individual, not as a company, as a person, I want to make investments. What am I going to benefit from stockbroking if I'm to, you know, start investing in shares? Yes, in shares. You stand to gain a lot. Okay. Like I said, it's part of, you are stratifying your portfolio. So if you now decide to say, you know, if you come to me, of course, you cannot do that on your own. You need a stockbroking, a dealing house. Okay. So your best bet is, we have on the website of Nigerian Stock Exchange, you have a list of stockbrokers, stockbroking
stockbroking houses. They are dealing houses. These dealing houses are registered and certified by Nigerian Stock Exchange to deal, in all these shares and so on, And they're also registered by Security and Exchange Commission. So you have a list of, just like these are certified. Of course, I in part got his certification from NBC.
Exactly.
So it's the same thing. So when you go onto the website, you are a novice, you can just pick. Like if you pick my company, Global Asset, my address is there, Broad Street. So you walk in, you have all the forms you're going to fill, BVN, all this. You want to know about you, and so on and so forth. And then, of course, after meeting all the requirements, an account will be opened for you. And there's a central depository system, CSCS. That's the depository for all the shares. It's like a where certification for whatever you buy on the floor is transformed in the certificate form. We don't use certificates any longer. So it's a piece of paper which is well encrypted, which is given to you, showing your ownership of shares in various companies. It might be NBC, it might be First Bank, it might be GT, it might be PZ, it might be all those things. So when you're now walking now, you have, say, 100,000. And you tell me your criteria. For investing. If it is income, yes. If it is growth, someone say, okay, I want to leave this one here. What do you think I should buy that in a year's time or something you think might, So looking at the trend, because you must have a very good, robust research department, so that I'll be able to tell you that over time, you could say, look, this company has been a high-paying, the company. For example, the banks, most of them pay interim dividends. They've been paying interim dividends of late. So you could elect to have that. It could be conglomerates like the PZ or Nestle or all those ones.
We don't want to be calling names of brands.
Okay.
No, I was going to say, you mentioned the names of the banks, and we would get money for adverts.
Okay.
From you, but because for now, you're giving us information and knowledge, which knowledge is power. We pardon you, but the next time we get our money.
Okay, no problem. No problem. I will. I'm sure. If they're on there also, they will do justice.
Exactly.
They will have to pay. They will have to pay for me for mentioning their names.
All right.
So I agree with you.
Exactly. Okay. But talking about that question, asking about the benefits I'll get from stockbroking. As an individual, I'll weigh my options. I want to know. Okay, I want to get involved in stockbroking. Am I going to be vulnerable to cases of fraud? I want to be careful, about that. So, is there any case of fraud when it comes to stockbroking? Do we have cases of fraud?
Well, fraud is in every facet of. So it's not limited to, it's in banking, it's stockbroking, it's everywhere. I'm sure, So, but again, the system will continue to work. What the exchange, the regulators, we have regulators, the exchange and the Security and Exchange Commission ensure that as much as possible they give a lot of support in terms of this. There are mechanism, for reporting if you feel aggrieved, So what it means is that, if you buy shares from a company or you ask somebody to invest on your behalf and you don't get all these things, of course, you have to be knowledgeable enough that, after investing in this, you should be able to get some form of certification that your money has been rightly invested. And of course, there are also processes of buying and selling, And also, you are advised to open a CSCS account, Central Security Deposit Account. Have an account with them, so that I can have access, like you have a bank account. You can have access to your account in that CSCS. You could have accounts with so many stockbroking houses as you could have with banks. You have in all this. So when you have an account there, you can have access to your online real time. whatever your portfolio is at any point in time. And also, we have an alert system. So when stocks are bought or sold, you get an alert. So when your stock is sold, you will know.
No.
When you buy, you will know the price at which that particular stock is sold. So nobody's going to tell you that he bought the stock at X naira, whereas this thing, you got an alert for that particular this thing. So it's very, very, as much as possible, very transparent. And what we have advised also is that there should be cash direct transfer. If you are assuming you're going to sell,
okay,
you should advise, if you elect to, that your funds, the proceeds of your sale should be transferred to you directly. So that will minimize any form of somebody tampering with the proceeds of your sale. You know, these are innovations in recent times, just to minimize the issue of fraud. So for me to tell you that there is no fraud, I mean, because there are cases both in court, both at the NSC, both at this and that they are battling with. But it's a systemic problem, not limited to Nigeria, all over.
Okay. All right. Still with Mr. Babatunde Shobamo, a stockbroker and a chartered accountant. And we've been talking about stockbroking. I'm sure you don't want to miss out on all of the information we have for you. So stay tuned. It's still Tea or Coffee on High Impact TV. We'll be right back.
Walking into comfort in a safe environment is every family's dream. At High Impact Planet Resort, our fully furnished service apartment is a home away from home. Amazing views right in your luxurious world. Work out to keep fit for an amazing body at the gym. Get affordable groceries and personal care items at the supermarket. Feel relaxed and beautify yourself at the fully equipped spa. High Impact Planet. Fun just got real.
You're still on to Tea or Coffee on High Impact Television. You're welcome from that break. And of course, we still have Mr. Babatunde Shobamo in the studio here with us. Yes, we are back. Now we're talking about stockbroking.
Yes.
And can one ever go wrong in buying securities from the government, like treasury bills, bonds?
Yeah, for governments, except the government goes bonkers.
Okay. And that's
because
not possible.
There's always a saying that governments can never be broke.
Yes.
No, you see, so that's the shortest way of if you are risk averse, you don't want to burn your fingers. The best bet is to put your money in the coffers of the government, either through government bonds, with tenors of up to 5-10 years. You are sure of stable, income from, either biannually or whatever over the period, or from treasury bills also. So, but the caveat is, if the country goes bust. So that's the only way. That's the only time when there's a challenge. So otherwise, your safest form of investment is to invest in your government. Okay. So Nigeria is super good. I mean, we are, I advise people also to buy fixed income securities. Okay. Fixed income securities.
Okay,
you're
why
sure?
Is that?
Yes. Of course, of the safety net. Okay. Safety net. You are sure of your, you can plan, use it to plan, to do your planning. You are expecting X, Y, Z income. Aha. Even if you put it in your tenants may not pay, but this one is sure they will pay. They will carry at the maturity or whatever. They will pay your money with interest and accrued interest. Or if it hasn't matured, at the payment due date, they will pay you your money straight into your account.
Okay.
So that's why it's.
Okay. Yeah. Talking about treasury bills and bonds,
yes.
What are the benefits of treasury bills and bonds in investment, especially for an individual that is willing to invest in these things?
Well, like I said, you're sure of your stream of income. Okay. You could use it to plan, and also recently also the coupon rate has been quite decent. It went as high as close to 15, so on. It depends on the need of the government. When there's need, they need to mop up and so on, they need a lot of money, of course the rate will go up, vice versa. When the government is flushed with money, the rates would come down. So it depends on an individual. That was why I mentioned earlier that you need to stratify your portfolio. So you have some in this thing, some in this asset, some in that asset. So you are better off not putting your eggs in one basket.
In one basket, okay.
Yeah.
There's a misconception about, people saying when you put your money in stock, you don't get rich. I really want to clarify. I want you to clarify that.
You don't get rich.
Mm-hmm. When you put money in stock.
Well, it depends. The likes of Warren Buffett with this world are one of the richest people in the world. And what it does basically is investing in stocks and shares, largely. It buys companies that are already going down, prop them up, and, with the hope of making, making profit. So, like I said, there are various motives of investment. Some for dividend, some for income, some to stratify their portfolio. So you must have at the back of your mind, if it is income, that at the end of the year you're expecting X amount of whatever from that particular, for investing in some companies. If it is for growth, that's a bit, if all things being equal, yes, it should be like a magic, because shares have, at the risk of mentioning names, I can tell you some shares that have more than got to drop over time, over a period of time. They've outperformed, all expectations. So it depends. But again, one has to be on the safe side because it could go up and it could go down, depending on the vagaries of the economy and whatever happens to this. A lot of anything could happen. Look at the time when the price of oil went down as low as $20 to $30 per barrel. Those who were in that particular industry will have been hit mostly. But the converse is now is going up. So if you had anything to do with all this, of course, you'll be going to the bank. You'll be smiling to the bank.
Okay. So there is a new trend about that, and that is the cryptocurrency. When we talk about the Ponzi schemes, the MMM that crashed, and Bitcoin. So I want to ask: is there a connection, between this cryptocurrency and stockbroking?
No. The underlying assets, are different. Cryptocurrencies, like the word currencies, it's a new innovation, came on board in 2009, and it's not backed by any fiduciary, like statutes. Like central bank is not there, but it's just like a means of payment. it's a means of payment. Settling this thing, you could buy this vase, and somebody will pay you with Bitcoin. You could keep the Bitcoin, hoping that someday you will get, the price might go up and be able to sell it off. And also people might acquire it. I don't know how they determine the rate of exchange, say Bitcoin to Naira or Bitcoin to dollar, or so. I don't know how to. So that is why CBN categorically came out that they are not part of Bitcoin. Anybody who does so at ease or our own risk. So it's like a gamble. I will not advise anybody to go into it. So they are miles apart. Dealing in shares and stocks is an organized market. Bitcoin is an opaque market.
Okay.
Yes.
So thank God you mentioned gambling, because I was about to ask, most people that I have spoken to, when having discussions about stockbroking, they feel that, stockbroking is a form of gambling. Is that true?
No. You see, they don't understand. You see, when you talk of gambling, even the general description of gambling is far from it. You see, the people's expectations are high when it comes to this. This X and Y stock, I bought it at A and it went to this. You see, stocks go up and down. It's a cycle. So it's a misconception. And that's why education is very important. Enlightenment is very important. Like I said at the beginning of this program, that hey, I won't advise you to don't put 100%. If you have 10 million, put 10 million in stocks alone. No, you need to put a bit of this, and then it will happen. Okay, look at the museum that got burnt. The houses could be burnt, and you're not going to be, even if by the time you start running after insurance and so on and so forth. So that life is a risk itself. So what are we talking about? So people want this. It's a general prism all over that it's not like that. Stocks crash. I mean, you look at the history of stock crash it comes once in a while like that. Because of so many factors beyond the control of anybody.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. I am aware of Nigeria Stock Exchange All Shares Index.
Yeah.
Aside this, what are the regulatory bodies that help to regulate stockbrokers and stock markets, not just in Nigeria, all over the world?
Well, we have the Securities and Exchange Commission.
Okay.
Is a body, giving that power. All capital market operators, not only SROs, self-regulated operators. You have registrars, you have stock exchange, you have various schemes. All those ones, they are regulated by Securities and Exchange Commission all over the world. Every country has a Securities and Exchange Commission. So they are the police of all these people. So if you have issues and so on, and of course they have a tribunal also, IST. So they are self-accounting procedures, self-accounting, so you cannot really get bond. And then if you are not particularly happy about, you have the High Court also. The courts are there. So somebody is looking after the back of somebody and so on and so forth. Of course, up to, if you are not happy with the tribunal and so on, you go as high as the High Court and then Supreme Court.
Okay.
So somebody is watching over somebody.
Okay. Before we went on break, I was going to ask this question, but then we had to go on break.
Exactly.
Now, you earlier on, you mentioned, before we went on break, you mentioned dealing houses.
Yes.
And, okay, now I'm going to ask, do I just wake up, then walk into any dealing house? Does that mean that everyone working in that dealing house is a stockbroker?
No, not exactly, but they are knowledgeable enough. We have the front office. Front office is somebody should be able to speak. Yes, because speak knowledgeably about the procedures, because that's the first contact.
Okay.
Come in, you say this, and they will ask you a few questions, ask you about you, and so on and so forth. Why have you chosen this house, and so on and so forth. Is it by referral? Is it by this? Is it by that? Some people just walk in, So it's, like I said, if you go to the site of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, you have a list of dealing houses.
Okay.
So you could pick and choose.
So
or you pick and choose and then walk up to anyone.
Okay.
And they will now give you all their requirements for you to
Okay.
be, part of to invest through them.
All right. If I get you clearly now, to work in a dealing house, you must have an idea of what stockbroking is, so as to discharge relevant information.
Oh,
for
certainly,
anyone that
would help. But
Okay.
even if you don't have, they train you. You understand? You must have the basic, financial capability,
Okay.
to be able to understand. Because if somebody comes and then you are not able to attend to that person to the best of you're going to lose that business. So every person in this stockbroking outfit has some fair knowledge of what the operations are like.
Okay.
Oh yes.
Okay, so as an individual, I want to start investment. I want to start investing. I have a particular amount of money, and I want to invest it in something. What investment advice would you give me?
Well, like I said, it depends on what you must have your own, your the aim for wanting to invest in the first instance.
Okay.
So I will now tailor it to suit, if it's for you to pay school fees or expecting a child in 9 months, or to pay house rent or something, or it's just to keep as savings and so on and so forth. So they are tailored to suit your needs. Okay. So it's not something that one can say offhand. So that when you tell me, it's just like going to see your doctor, this, then you will not look at, because you have a headache, it could be from this, it could be from that. So it's the same process. Okay. It's like you're coming to see, the doctor of investment. Yes. Okay. He will not tell you what will suit you, that will make you happy, and you leave the office a happier person.
Okay. But what if I just have a particular amount of money? I'm looking for what to invest that money in.
Well, we would advise. You see, the advice is just we are not going to. We only advise. It's advice. We are not going to give you say guarantee. No, you cannot.
Okay.
In fact, the exchange and the Securities and Exchange Commission and Nigerian Stock Exchange, have disclaimed, on that particular decision. You cannot guarantee because you don't know what the future holds. So what you can only advise that, and for that, for advice, you just take some little commission. By the time we buy for you, the commission is regulated. Okay. So this is a regulated trade. It's not that you can just take advantage of anybody. No. It's a regulated trade. You know how much commission you're going to pay, regulatory commission, how much you're going to pay, regulatory fees, how much you're going to pay as commission for somebody, for his time and so on and so forth. These are, it's a is a trade that is well backed up.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. The general concept of stock market is buying low and selling high. Can you explain the practicability of that?
Oh, yes. Well, ideally, like I was explaining to somebody, before, when you talk about buying low, when you are buying low, somebody is selling.
Okay.
When you are selling, somebody is buying. So, you must have some intrinsic or some kind of knowledge or some kind of information. Well, you might have some information and she may not have. She might come to me and say, okay. And I say, but why the price of this stock is high? I said, no, don't worry. I know what I'm talking about. You're not going to tell me. You must have some certain information that I don't know. Assuming you know that they are bringing in expecting some kind of this thing that would boost their earnings. Because of this, it depends on if the result is good, fantastic, the price will go up. Okay. And the price might not even come down. Mark you. So it might not even come down. So you need to get at a particular point when you have to come in. They have all this analysis that we do that will tell you when to come in and when to go out. And you must not be too greedy. If you are greedy, you might be caught, in this thing. Because usually when there's usually a shedding period, After it gets, then it comes down a bit and so on and so forth. So all those things are things that if you're very close to, and also you must also be active in that particular market. Read a little bit about the company that you want to invest in yourself. Do some, and all these things are available, online, the company, A, B, then, all about it. Yeah. If they have affiliations abroad also, read about it. Okay. I mean, just for patronage of High Impact TV, I mean, it's for digital this thing. So my intention is after a while, yes, it grows. We'll take part of it. We'll take it to the stock exchange. We'll advise on how to go about it. The owners will still maintain this thing, but people want to partake in this business also. So that's how it goes. High Impact TV will be listed on the exchange. People will now come and buy the shares. So, but you must create liquidity. Liquidity. What I mean by liquidity is that ability for people to be able to buy and sell. Sell those shares must be there. If the company is good, liquidity will be there because people want to buy. People want to sell. True. So liquidity will be there. So it will go up, and then of course it will affect the price. The price will go up.
Yeah. So as a stockbroker in Nigeria, can I trade in the international markets? Yes,
we are working on that through the institute.
Okay.
Yes, there's an exam, the one for UK. I know about the one for UK. And the other exams also, it depends on the jurisdiction. I imagine if somebody comes to Nigeria and wants to trade, he must go through certain, yes, and also there are also other exemptions. So if you fit into the curriculum, they'll be able to, they'll give you one or two papers or whatever, screening and so on and so forth, references. Just like if you move here as a doctor, you want to go and practice in the UK, you'll have to take some exams. So it's the same thing. It's a profession. They get all their requirements. If you meet their requirements, you're up and running.
Okay. In a situation whereby, I invest in a private financial institution and that financial institution is going through crisis or problems, definitely it would affect my investment in that institution. Now, as a stockbroker, how can you help such clients?
Well, in a private, I don't know what to be by private. You see, it's either it's quoted or unquoted.
Okay.
So if it is quoted, you could see the prices are coming down. You could see it yourself. So it's either you stay in or you minimize your loss. Get out, sell, and then reinvest in some other things. It's rather than waiting and so on before it gets into.
Okay. When I mentioned private, I meant non-governmental organizations that are not owned by government.
Oh, that don't go well. Okay, all those quoted. No. You see, the only way, the concept of shareholding or stock holding or whatever is you participate in income and losses.
Okay.
So if you bought 1 million shares in X company, the worst they can lose is your 1 million naira. You cannot lose more than that. Your contribution to the loss. But even if the company makes 10 million, your participation in that will be in relation to how much you invested.
Okay.
So the worst that can happen to you is that you lose your 1 million.
1 million.
That's all.
All right. Recently, Nigeria Stock Exchange Agribusiness Group was launched, and as the chairman, you addressed that group is to help boost the growth rate of agricultural contributions in Nigeria. Now, aside agricultural sector of the country, what other sector can stockbroking help to boost the economy of the country?
Yes, just in line with the RGP of the government.
Okay.
Yeah, just to ensure that the reliance on oil with what we suffered in the last couple of years, should be put aside. That's why agric has come on. And I think another area which I would, which one is working on, is on power. Power, if you're able to get the power right in this country, imagine how much you use in diesel to run this place.
Run generator.
Yeah.
True.
So if you can get the power right, there are gencos. I know they are trying to unbundle them for private investors to invest in them. The government owns them now. Okay. Those who generate electricity. You know, there are other infrastructural problems which they are working on. I know recently transmission, federal government gave them a lot of money. The discos are not finding it easy. Those who distribute the power are not finding it easy. So they need to do a lot of, like I said, our work as stockbrokers, we do a lot of preparatory work before you can bring a product. You know, just like anybody making, this suit I'm wearing, there's a lot of work that goes into it. So that's the kind of thing we do. After getting to that stage, then we now take it to the market. So that's when it gets to that stage, we now take it to the market for it to be sold. So the gencos, by the time they will be able to, power will be available at next to nothing, to people. People will be able to, if it is available, people buy it. They'll be able to pay for it because they will make more income. It will have multiplier effect on the economy. So that's another area where, aside from the Greek, which we as stockbrokers can look into.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Babatunde Shobamo. It's been enlightening listening to you. At least I've been able to learn a lot about stockbroking.
Yes, about stockbroking.
I didn't know, was and wasn't.
And not just you, I'm sure people out there, whoever is watching that never had an idea of what stockbroking is. Now, I'm sure that you would have an idea of what to invest your money in and, to put it in the right way such that. And another thing, we need to correct this idea of stockbroking being
a form of gambling.
Yes.
It isn't.
Yes, it isn't.
It's different worlds apart. Yeah. So thank you once again, Mr. Babatunde Shobamo, for coming to the program today. But it is on this note that we have to wrap up. But I do hope you've had, an amazing time listening to us and, you've enjoyed the program today. Yes,
I must say thank you for staying tuned, thank you for watching, and also for everyone that contributed to the success of today's program. We say thank you. We have to go now. And
you can join us.
Hope when we call you again, you'll have
Oh, certainly I will. I love the ambience of this place. I love your studio.
Thank you very much.
I love you presenters also.
All right, so we have to go. Thank you for staying tuned.
Please join us same time, same station.
It's still Tea or Coffee on High Impact Television. We have to go. It's a wrap. Bye.